Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our panel discussion about LiSEC Greenfield Project Competence, a case study from our customer AGP. My name is Christoph Luega and I'm on the stage with Mr. David Bunting, Managing Director from AGP New Zealand, Mr. Gottfried Brunbauer and Mr. Oliver Pichler, Managing Directors from LiSEC. Welcome. Also a very warm welcome to our competitors. First question, Mr. Bunting. Before we start the interview, can you give us a short overview of your company and what you ordered from LiSEC?
Yeah, so we're an IG manufacturing business based in New Zealand. We primarily produce IGs into the window market, probably 90% residential, 10% commercial. We typically produce 3,000 units per day. We have a complete turnkey package from LiSEC. It was a greenfield, started in 2018. We've invested twice with LiSEC and about to invest a third time. And we have everything from automated cutting systems, buffering systems, KSRs, and TPA lines.
Thank you. So can you elaborate on the benefits of the highly automated and optimized LiSEC setup at AGP?
Yeah, I think when we looked at the decision of whether we should proceed down a manual path or an automated plant, a lot of people look at automation and just rely on headcount removal. Actually, what we found with automation is that the quality is more stable, the product flows through the facility more efficiently, it's more repeatable, it's easier to attract the next generation of workers, and that of course all flows on to producing a product for the customer that is higher quality and in a more reliable manner.
Okay, and how satisfied are you with the final outcome of the project with LiSEC?
Oh, very satisfied. You don't invest 3 times with the same company in a short period of time if the quality of the output is not to your standard, and that's what we've found with LiSEC, that even though there's at times challenges like any manufacturing facility, the support's fantastic, and we're very, very happy where we've ended up at this point in our journey.
Mr. Brunbauer, what innovative technologies or methods did LiSEC implement in this project?
Okay, first of all, welcome to all of you from my side as well, and I think even if there are a lot of LiSEC employees, I think a lot of you are interested to learn more about these famous projects with AGP. What was innovative in this project? One thing was the remnant plate handling, because usually when you want to get remnant plates back into the buffer or the remnant plate buffer, you need to transport them against the material flow. And that was an idea also from David, which we realized with AGP, to transport the remnant plates back in a bypass transport and sort it in again to the remnant plate buffer, and therefore not to interrupt the flow of the cutting process. And just to give you an idea, I think we are talking about the machinery equipment. The line is a straight line design, 335 meters long, in a building being 400 meters long. So it's very impressive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. These are a lot of innovative solutions, but I can imagine that not everything always runs smoothly in such projects. Mr. Pichler, can you maybe share an example of a challenge that arose during the project and how it was resolved?
I think I can remember 2 things. One was that David said they ordered the first part of the equipment in 2018, and in 2020 then Corona came and the pandemic, and we all know what that meant, a huge supply chain crisis. And we also had delays, I think, like with any other projects, but I think they're very transparent, very cooperative approach, working together, finding a solution, how we can then best also change the installation sequence, etc. We could nevertheless handle that in a very good way and find a good solution so that AGP was nevertheless able to start up in due time with a little bit of delay. And the other major thing was, I remember also, I think we had lots of discussions on the automation and software on the PKL, the crane system. But nevertheless, also there, this cooperative approach, we tried to really get down to the problem, what it really was. And then we had always very consecutive meetings all the time, virtually, because the time difference is quite a challenge. We've changed the working hours in Austria so that would fit better also with the working hours in New Zealand with the 12-hour time difference. We put in a special task force, and in the end, we've sorted out it as well. And it was challenging, and I think we know that AGP is a demanding customer, but I think with that approach, everybody trying to move a little bit forward, that also helped in solving the issue in the end. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Bunting, from your perspective, how did you feel about working with our LiSEC team?
Like any project, any team, any cooperation, there's good times and there's bad times, to be frank. But in this case, there's been more good times than bad times. The key of avoiding the tough times is being able to work together to solve a problem. And I think that's something that's quite special between my team and the LiSEC team at all levels of the LiSEC organisation, no matter who my team engage with, whether I'm talking with Oliver or Gottfried, or I have a software technician talking to a LiSEC software technician. The cooperation is what solves those problems and makes those challenges become more easily overcome and achievable.
And a difficult question maybe. How would you describe the whole process of the Greenfield project in 5 words, and why?
That's an incredibly difficult question. 5 words.
More than 5 already.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, tough host. I think scary, challenging, rewarding. I'd say courage is another word that probably describes it, and just satisfaction, you know, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Anyone that's gone through a greenfield project understands and realizes how difficult it is, both to plan it, to get it right, for your team to execute it. A lot of my team sacrificed a lot of hours away from family, friends. A lot of LiSEC employees did the same. And all those different descriptions are the different emotions that you go through to describe a greenfield. If you haven't experienced each one of those 5 words, plus some others, you probably have not done a greenfield and experienced it.
Thanks. Mr. Bichler, Mr. Brombauer, from LiSEC's perspective, what makes the partnership with AGP unique and successful?
What makes it unique? AGP started to enter the market with glass products, with ramping up their production David has described. And their target was to provide the market with a completely new level of quality when it comes to delivery time, when it comes to on-time delivery, and also when it comes to failure rate. And that, of course, requires a very hard focus, and that's what the AGP team really does on optimizing processes, really in every detail. And that was challenging for us because I would say it's not yet that usual in the glass processing industry like we have faced it from David and his team. And this also required a lot of optimization and a lot of detailed modification in software and also in how we are approaching things. But it's also, I think, that the best what can happen to a machine supplier to have a customer that's that challenging in a positive way, because also we could learn a lot and we have learned a lot.
Mr. Bichler?
Yeah, I think I can elaborate on that, because I think in many instances we also learn from our customers. And I think with AGP, you have started your business, as you said, in 2018, not only greenfield, but also entering into the IG business. And I think that is a huge amount of admiration which the whole LiSEC team has for AGP. Then to end up having a plant which is having an availability well above 90%, close to 100%. Your delivery promise is, I think, second to none in the whole world. For a company starting from scratch, building a greenfield project, and then having established processes which are so perfect that you can deliver that promise to your customers, is something where you always really want to fine-tune every little point percentage-wise. And I think we often had the discussion as well, how far can we go? And I think that is really the admiration, I think, for us, for you, what you have achieved, and that because that gives our people also the motivation, well, we can really do that a little bit more, and we can improve that, and we can learn from it. But I think also, I take it a little bit also the admiration from your team, for our specialists, to see the ability that together we can achieve that incremental step of improvement. And I think that is, really, really unique. And I think for that, I would like to thank you personally, but also by LiSEC as well.
Yeah, thanks for those words, Oliver.
Mr. Bunting, do you see potential for future projects, or what are your plans for the future, in the next 5 years maybe?
Yeah, I think that's a good question as well. I think our first priority is to get this next investment, which is a complete cutting, 3 buffering systems, furnace, and a 4th IG line installed. That's our primary focus for the next 6 to 8 months. Post that, there's sort of 2 parts. The first part is we could look to potentially enter other markets. New Zealand is quite a small country. And then there's the internal part as well, where we have to continue to optimize how our customers engage with us, how well we deliver the user experience that we provide with them, because yes, the hard product being an IG is one thing, but the software integration, how they communicate with us as a company, is also very important. And I think that's why the partnership with LiSEC is so important to us, because it continues to evolve from a hardware situation to a software situation, and what LiSEC have provided is that platform for us to allow us to then continue further opportunities, either a physical expansion or the ability to optimize software right down to experiences. And you just can't do that without good platforms. So that's sort of our vision of where we want to head over the next 3 to 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for all of these insights. Mr. Bunting, Mr. Bichler, Mr. Brombauer, is there anything else you want to tell us, or are there any questions from the audience? Maybe first a question to you. Anything else you want to share with the audience?
No, just that, hey, on behalf of myself and my team, thanks to the LiSEC team. It's been an amazing journey. Hopefully it's just the start of the journey. I know that we can be demanding. We expect a lot from anyone that works with us, and LiSEC is no different in that respect. But given that level of demand that we put on on our suppliers. You know, LiSEC have more than met that, and I would encourage anyone that wants to come and talk to me about our experience in detail privately. They're more than welcome to do that.
Thanks.
I would say there is nothing more to add, but I only can say that we are really thankful on the one hand, but also proud to have customers like AGP, because as I mentioned before, we also can learn a lot. And I want to thank David personally that he started the journey with LiSEC and still continues this journey.
Thank you.
Well, there's not really much more to add, but I think also on a personal level, it's the openness, how to approach difficulties. You said there are ups and downs in the project, and it's the openness and the frankness to talk about the issues very openly, very frankly, and that really also is the basis for a speedy implementation, because if people talk around the edges, then you can't go straight to the point and to the solution. And that openness, I think, is also very much appreciated by ourselves, and thank you for that.
Thanks. So, are there any questions from the audience? Audience. Speak so. Okay, not so far. So, Mr. Bunting, Mr. Pichler, Mr. Brombauer, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our discussion. Have a great day and thank you very much.